Most people don't even realise how much complaining is ruining their lives. It drains your energy, it keeps you stuck, and worst of all, it makes you miserable. We all do it. Complaining about work, complaining about the weather, complaining about how unfair life is. But here's the truth. The more you complain, the worse your life feels. What if I told you that stopping the habit of complaining could make you 100% happier? It's not about ignoring problems, it's about shifting your mindset from powerless to powerful. So if you're ready to stop sabotaging your own happiness, let's talk about how not effing complaining can change your life. Most of us don't even realise how much we complain because it's so automatic. It's a habit we've picked up over the years and we do it without even thinking. But why do we complain so much? And why does it feel so good in the moment, even though it makes us miserable in the long run? Here's the truth. Complaining gives us a temporary sense of relief, but it keeps us stuck in a negative cycle. Let's break it down. Venting feels good at first. It gives us an outlet to express frustration, disappointment, or anger. When we rant about a bad day, it feels like we're unloading stress. When we complain about work, it feels like we're standing up for ourselves. And when we talk about how unfair life is, it feels like we're making sense of our struggles. But here's the problem. Venting only gives us a temporary sense of relief. It tricks us into thinking we're doing something productive when we're actually reinforcing negativity. The more we complain, the more we focus on what's wrong instead of what we can change. People bond over shared frustrations. This traffic is ridiculous. Mondays are the worst. Life just never gives me a break. We connect with others by complaining about the same things. It's easy, it's relatable, and it makes us feel like we're not alone. But what kind of relationships are we building when they're based on shared negativity? If the main thing you talk about with friends is what's wrong, you'll never have conversations about what's possible. Try this. Next time someone starts complaining, shift the conversation to solutions. See how quickly the energy changes. Let's be honest, sometimes complaining is just a way to say, life is unfair and there's nothing I can do about it. When we complain, we're often looking for validation rather than solutions. If we complain about our job, we want someone to agree that it sucks. If we complain about our problems, we want people to tell us we're right. And if we complain about how unlucky we are, we want sympathy. But here's the real danger. Complaining keeps us powerless. The more we blame external things, the less we believe we can change our situation. Instead of fixing our mindset, we reinforce our limitations. Instead of finding ways to improve, we focus on what we can't control. And instead of taking action, we stay stuck in frustration. The question is, do you want to stay in the problem or do you want to move forward? This one is big. Most people don't realise that complaining actually rewires your brain. Every time you complain, your brain strengthens the neural pathways that focus on negativity. The more you complain about bad drivers, the more bad drivers you notice. The more you complain about your work, the more frustrating things you find. And the more you complain about people, the more flaws you see in them. Your brain is designed to seek patterns. Whatever you'll focus on, you'll find more of. This is why complainers always have more things to complain about, because their brain is trained to look for negativity. But the opposite is also true. If you train yourself to stop complaining and start focusing on solutions, your brain will start noticing opportunities instead of obstacles. It's not magic, it's science. A lot of people complain first as a way to protect themselves from disappointment. If we complain about how hard something is, we don't have to try. If we complain about how things never work out, we don't have to take risks. And if we complain about life being unfair, we don't have to take responsibility. It's easier to say this will never work than to actually put in the effort and risk failing. But here's the thing, the more you protect yourself from failure, the more you protect yourself from growth. Complaining might feel safe, but it's keeping you from becoming stronger, happier, and more in control of your life. No one is born a complainer. Kids don't overanalyze life's problems, they adapt. They don't dwell on frustrations, they move on. They don't blame everything on outside factors. They explore solutions. We learn to complain from the people around us. If you grew up in a household where complaining was normal, it's no surprise that it became your default and your response to stress. But here's the good news. If you learned it, you can unlearn it. You can train your brain to focus on what's working instead of what's wrong. You can shift your energy from venting to problem solving, and you can replace complaining with gratitude, action, and forward movement. It takes practice, but once you break the habit of constant negativity, your whole life feels different. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you focus on negative things, the better it gets at noticing them. Complain about traffic, your brain notices bad drivers even more. Complain about work, you start seeing only the frustrating parts. Complain about your life, it starts to feel like everything sucks. Ever notice how drained you feel after a long rant? That's because complaining steals your mental energy and leaves you exhausted. Instead of finding solutions, you get stuck in what's wrong. Instead of feeling motivated, you feel frustrated. Negative energy attracts negative people. When you complain, you invite more complainers into your life. And guess what? Misery loves company. But if you stop complaining, you attract more positive, solution-focused people. Your conversations become about growth, ideas, and possibilities instead of just what sucks. When you stop complaining, you unlock new parts of yourself that you might never have noticed before. Here are some fresh benefits you gain when you ditch the negativity. When you stop focusing on what's wrong, your mind is free to see new possibilities. You start finding creative solutions to problems that once seemed unsolvable. Your brain shifts from complaining to exploring new ideas. This boost in creativity helps you make better choices every day. Constant complaining can add stress to your body, which isn't good for your health. And when you let go of negative talk, your stress levels drop. Lower stress helps you sleep better and keeps your blood pressure in check. With less stress, you might notice fewer headaches and a stronger overall body. Stopping complaints means you choose to face challenges head on. You learn to take responsibility for your life instead of blaming problems. This builds a habit of self-discipline that helps you keep pushing forward. Over time, you become more resilient and able to handle setbacks better. When you stop complaining, your words shift from criticism to solution. You start having more uplifting conversations with others. This change makes your relationships stronger because people feel better around you. Better communication leads to fewer misunderstandings and more teamwork. Letting go of complaints lifts a heavy weight off your shoulders. You no longer feel trapped by your own negativity. This freedom makes you feel lighter and more excited about life. You wake up with a clear mind, ready to take on the day. Without the habit of complaining, you become more open to others and their feelings. You start to see the struggles of people around you and offer support. This makes you kinder and builds deeper, more genuine connections. Your growing empathy helps you create a positive circle of friends and family. And when you stop focusing on problems, you begin to notice the good things. You start seeing challenges as opportunities to learn. A positive outlook helps you feel hopeful about the future. With optimism, even small setbacks become lessons rather than failures. Your change in attitude doesn't just affect you, it touches those around you. When you stop complaining, people are drawn to your positive energy. This creates a ripple effect where others start to focus on solutions too. Together, you build an environment that lifts everyone's spirits. Without constant negativity clouding your thoughts, your mind becomes clearer. You make decisions based on what benefits you most instead of what feels safe. Clarity in decision making leads to better outcomes in work and life. Over time, you become more confident in choosing the right path. And when you stop complaining, you stop feeding a cycle of constant stress. You find more moments of calm in your daily life. This inner peace lets you enjoy life more fully, even during hard times. With peace in your heart, you become happier and more balanced. Anytime you catch yourself complaining, force yourself to name one thing you're grateful for. It sounds simple, but it rewires your brain to focus on what's good instead of what's bad. If everyone around you complains, it's harder to stop the habit. Find people who focus on solutions, growth, and positivity. Hang around people who inspire you. Have conversations about ideas, not just problems. Limit your time with energy drainers. Here's the bottom line. Complaining doesn't change anything. Taking action does. The less you complain, the more you focus on solutions. The less you complain, the more energy you have for what matters. The less you complain, the happier you become. So if you're serious about being happier, more confident, and more in control of your life, start today. Catch yourself. Change your mindset. Take action. And watch how your happiness skyrockets. Because when you stop focusing on what's wrong, you make space for everything that's right.